Man, I sure wish I could play as Zero. Oh, cool. Megaman X3, the third and final installment of the Megaman X games on the Super Nintendo. Now, I've stated my opinions on these games briefly before, but in my opinion, not well enough. Megaman X is a masterpiece that I've put hundreds of hours into speedrunning, and I still haven't gotten tired of it. Megaman X2 fixes any problems the first game had with more imaginative bosses and a more revolutionary gameplay experience. As for X3, well, that's what this video is for now, isn't it? In the year 2100 XX, all the Mavericks had been neutralized thanks to the efforts of a Reploid scientist named Dr. Doppler. Using his Nero computer, he has been able to suppress any abnormal behavior in the Reploids and prevent them from going berserk. Many of the most advanced Reploids have gathered near their new mentor and founded Doppeltown, a perfect utopian community. With Dr. Doppler guiding them, the world seemed ready to enter a new golden age. A few months later, the Mavericks who were supposed to have been neutralized by the neural computer suddenly appeared and began to riot. At the Maverick Hunters headquarters, all the intelligence indicated that Dr. Doppler was the mastermind behind the invasion. Soon the call went out to X and Zero to destroy the invading Mavericks and bring Dr. Doppler to justice. Maverick Hunter X and Zero, dispatch. A few hours later, emergency contact was made by the headquarters of Maverick Hunter. This is the headquarters of Maverick Hunter. We are under attack from the Doppler force. All units return to base immediately and return fire. Wow. Now this intro really gives you a sense of urgency, which I really didn't feel with the first two. First, stop the attack, then defeat Dr. Doppler and his 8 Mavericks that stand in your way, just like the other ones. Have you played Megaman X2? Yes? Then you already know what this game feels like. Jumps are in your control. Hold the button, and when you let go, you fall at a higher velocity. Move right to advance through the stage, and dash to move faster and make your jump arcs wider. Slide and jump on walls to advance vertically. And of course, shoot your X-Buster to deal damage to enemies and charge it up for a more powerful attack, but at a slower pace. But there are 3 major changes that set this game apart from the others. Vertical dashing, combining your final stage buster shot, and Zero. Air dashing gives you so much more freedom and mobility than the other 2 games and all the classics before it. No dog to make you go up, no waiting for a platform or neon jumping, just boom. Neon jumping is still in this game as well as the release neon jump. Now most people don't know what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a speedrun tactic called neon jumping. It gives you an extra jump if your buster shoots on the same frame or 1/60th of a second as when you jump when you are dashing in midair. Pretty cool. Whether or not this is a glitch or implemented into the game by the developers is still unknown to this day, but it's in the game and it's cool. Now, if you time it correctly, your fully charged shot will combine into one that deals more damage. However, this causes the game to lag and it is very irritating. Lastly, Zero is finally a playable character. This edition became a staple for Mega Man X through 8, so this is the installment that pioneered all of his appearances. He is a fun character to use, and he can even use his Z-Saber when his buster is fully charged up. He's useful at the start of the game with the plethora of health he has. However, he is slower and bigger, making him an easy target. He also cannot fight bosses or mini-bosses, but Zero and X are both easy to maneuver and they feel incredibly fluid while playing. Out of the 3 SNES games, this one is by far the longest. Each stage has lots of secrets, lots of collectibles like the 4 mobile armor suits that you can access on this platform. You must fight Bit and Bite, 2 lackeys of Dr. Doppler. And wait, who's that? Vile? That's right, Vile from Megaman X is back, and with a vengeance. What's really significant about this fight is you can fight a stronger version of his mobile suit and him on your own now. Zero doesn't need to explode himself to get rid of the mobile suit. You can do it yourself. That truly shows that X really does get stronger on each of his adventures. When you beat him, Vile gets salty and self-destructs the base. Bad sportsmanship, bro. Of course, there's also 2 Sigma stages, a boss rush, the Dr. Doppler fight, and Sigma. At the first Sigma stage, if you have collected all the items, you can get the Hyper Armor, which allows you to air dash twice, take less damage, regenerate health very slowly, and an extra charge shot for the X-Buster, as well as the Hyper C weapon option that makes your X-Buster fully charged as soon as you select it. At the second Sigma stage, if you beat the mini-boss as Zero, the only one he is allowed to fight, it will purposefully explode near him, leaving Zero with 1 bar of health. When X goes to check on him, Zero retreats and you now have possession of a Z-Saber. This weapon deals 50% damage to every boss in the game, although it is disappointing not to get another one-hit KO Street Fighter move like the others. After you defeat Dr. Doppler, he claims to have been possessed by the Sigma virus and tells you where you can find Sigma's current physical form. When you get there, you see Sigma once again, but instead of Wolverine claws, this time he has the Captain America shield. You beat him, but he's not down yet. He reveals his ultimate fighting form, a giant mech 10 times bigger than you. If you manage to defeat him, he reverts back to virus form and plans to take over the strongest body in the world. Yours. Lava seeps through the ground, so the only way is up. Now you have to avoid the virus, lava, and maneuver platforms above you that you can't see yet. Sigma traps you in a corner, but Dr. Doppler wishes to redeem himself and takes care of Sigma. For now. And that's Megaman X3. Although it's certainly the longest Super Nintendo X game, it's not as memorable as the others. Although the Hyper Armor and the Z-Saber are cool, the Street Fighter moves were cool additions from a neighboring franchise, and seeing Dr. Light in a headband giving you a Hadouken move was unforgettable. The bosses also seem bland and uninspired. A beetle, catfish, and hornet? Not bosses that come to mind when thinking of Mega Man, or even the Super Nintendo games in general. But there are normal enemies that change up the gameplay a little. For example, the ground enemies in Neon Tiger stage, or the enemies in Gravity Beetle stage that get weaker after you defeat Blast Hornet. I don't know, something about this game feels like an expansion to the other one, contrary to the second game compared to the first one, because of gameplay like air dashing, 2 buster shots, chain grabbing, flame dashing, and the advancements they could make because of the CX4 chip. Even the intro stage bosses in X2 and X3 are similar. Lastly, the lag in this game is unacceptable. When firing a charge shot, escaping Vile's lair, and after the last fight in the game, you think Capcom would have done something about this, especially in the third and last game developed for this franchise on the console. I understand with everything happening on the screen, it is very demanding on the hardware, but was it not possible to dumb down these events, however epic, to give consumers a fluid, consistent experience? So even with the advancements of introducing another playable character, a somewhat deeper story, and longer gameplay, the downsides seem like a thorn in the experience of this game. Because of that, I'd have to give this game a 7 out of 10. Do not get me wrong, it's still a great game in all regards, but I don't feel the same spark as I did in X1 and X2. And although it seems unfair to judge it against its predecessors, isn't that the point of making a sequel? To capture what made the others so special and captivating, warranting another edition, and correcting and improving aspects of the previous installments? Maybe it's because of lacking resources while developing and distributing this game along with Mega Man 7, but it shouldn't receive a handicap because of that fact. In the end, this game is still one I can play and enjoy to this day, and one of the reasons Mega Man is one of my favorite franchises. I mean, I still gave it a positive score, right? And looking back on my previous reviews, no Naruto Ninja Council does not deserve a 6. No Pokemon Emerald is not a 10 out of 10 game. These were earlier faults in my production of the videos. But for $8 on the Nintendo eShop, I without a doubt recommend this game to fans of action and platforming games. I hope this review was informative enough to give you my experience with the game. If you've already played it, I hope you can agree with some of my points for what I saw them as, and it kept you entertained. Please leave a comment about your experiences with Megaman X3, any of the games in the franchise, or whether or not this influenced your decision in purchasing a game I had a lot of enjoyment with. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.